Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez
and me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the Best Hour of Your Day.
Sometimes you have to burn everything down and start fresh again.
What did you break?
But no, our podcast.
What do I have to clean up now that you have broken something?
Our podcast, we have Cody on, Nate's on, Pat Barber, Marcus, Katie. Now it's just you and I, just the way it started.
Oh, you're referencing the fact that this is old school and we're literally just recording this, the two of us.
Just the two of us recording,
just like back when you were still in your closet.
Yeah, I'm still, it's just a bigger closet.
Much bigger closet.
It's just a bigger closet. But we're coming off the heels of one of our biggest, best, and most ambitious events ever. We did our very first Best Hour of Their Day Affiliate U Mastermind, the 2023 Mastermind here in Denver, Colorado. And we're going to talk a little bit about it today, but it was amazing. First of all, let's thank the entire team, right? Because we couldn't have done it without Katie and Marcus and Cody and Nate and Nikki and Pat and Lindsay, DT, Joel. That was a full-on team event. All of our clients that came. And for the record, this is going to be part of Affiliate U moving forward. Our goal is 2 masterminds a year, kind of moving around. For now,
not our goal. That's happening, right? So like this,
soft talk, right?
Yeah, soft talk. Get rid of it. So that's happening moving forward, and because what we know fundamentally is that there is just like the difference between taking the online level one and the level one in person. There is a different vibe when you sit in a room with other people and you work through stuff. And it was an awesome 2 days, dude. Like we had 125 attendees. That was roughly, I think it was like 70 some affiliates showed up. I know for sure the next one will be well over 100 because basically everybody that showed up at the last one was like, I'm coming. And then everybody that had, FOMO from that was just like, tell me when it is so I can block it off. But it's important. And you and I agree on this, which is weird. We don't agree on anything, but that there needs to be an in-person component of what we do. There's just certain things that cannot be communicated virtually. And that's an important part of what we're trying to do, connecting people with ideas and coming out of that. The coolest part about it, and we'll get into the details of it, was the amount of shit people were getting done the following week.
Still, I led today's call. It's a Monday, so we have our weekly Monday momentum call, and I can think of James from Muddy Water, Haley from Topside, numerous Carol in Plant City, all kind of still feeling, and that's part of the in-person thing, right? Like that momentum is still going on, not just individually, but every time we get on a call, the people that saw each other, that met each other for the first time, like you said, yeah, that momentum is still going strong. And I think what was really cool is, we have our Monday call that everyone's invited to. We have small group calls Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Like there's no shortage of opportunity to talk to us, to other people in our community. But you're right. Like it's one thing to hear it virtually, but then when they were seeing other people actually talking about the similar issues, problems, it was really eye-opening. Like, oh, because one of the most common themes we heard all weekend was like, we're not alone.
Yeah, and there's just there's so much nuance to these events. And so obviously there's the weekend, and then there's all the side bar conversations, connections that happen. We have like a West Coast biker gang that's now
Pacific Northwest
biker gang that's now formed. And I think that's really, really important to connect those people together. But again, the in-person piece is so powerful. I mean, like it was really cool. It was cool for me to just sit in the back. Like when you were giving your talk, like it was just like I had a little moment in the back where it's just like watching all of it go down. Like it was a little surreal. I was like, man, this is fucking awesome.
I felt the same way when Marcus kicked off the weekend, and I looked and I was like, we have 100+ people sitting here, and let us also throw this out there, like all the people that came this year, like we're really proud and humbled because that could have been a dumpster fire, right? Like they just were like, they're doing something, we're going. Like this wasn't like it's our second, third iteration of this. This was like we're doing no agenda thrown out other than like show up and get better.
We
And
had an agenda, but like it wasn't like
it wasn't
forecast
public,
everybody.
right, yeah,
Right.
sure. But I mean, I didn't, for the record, I didn't know we had an agenda, so that was news to me that you just said that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, but I was just like really, it goes to show the impact we've had thus far with those people because they were like cool, like we're there, we want to hang with, even if it was just like hang with other people for 2 days, like there's definitely something missing there in the CrossFit space. And
Well, that was a huge component of why Marcus kind of, and why we pushed this so hard, was there's the missing component of like getting the community together. That's kind of like an old school thing, that we're really adamant about bringing back to the forefront, which is, hey, like, yeah, virtual is easy, but there's a lot to be said by getting into another room. And there's also something really important about um, getting out of the gym. And that's why I was adamant, because we had talked about this before. I'm like, we're not hosting this at an affiliate. We are going to a working space, and we are going to get people out of their gym, because I don't want them thinking about the gym. I don't want them thinking about the box. I don't want them thinking about working out. There's no working out at this thing. So all of that combined with just the social aspect of it, shocker, spoiler alert, Jay did not go out Saturday night with the
that
rest
is
of us.
not
But
true. I was there on the
you went to the
rooftop.
social. You didn't go to the after social.
On that note, a lot of people do think I don't leave my basement.
It's not
It's
inaccurate.
not that far fetched, correct? But I mean, I do leave my house. So people were coming up to me like,
Begrudgingly.
people were coming up to me like, "Are you all right? Like, are you?" I'm like, "Am I?" What kind of picture have we painted? Like, I do socialize, like I do talk to people,
He
but I
does
mean,
also have agoraphobia. Two things can be true at once.
yeah, but a lot of people. And by the way, we do have to give a shout out to the young Katie for booking Ant Life. The venue that we had. Like,
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean,
Katie
she
really
coordinated all of that.
put it all together. Yeah, I mean, and so that was awesome. I agree with you. Like, I think the participants were actually happy no workouts. I think a lot of times we're CrossFit, we're into fitness. Of course, we all like training is a part of our lives, but it's like, oh, we got to squeeze in a workout. It's like, or let's just get down to business for 48 hours.
Well, I had multiple people come up to me and they're like, hey, thank you for not doing that, because that's not why I'm here. And I'm like, great. That's not why I'm here either. Like, if you want to work out, fall down and get up for 7 minutes before you show up to
Yeah.
the venue, and then we're done. I think there's just a time and a place to separate those two things. And I think if people are making the trip, and I think they're, spending money to come out there, like, let's maximize our time.
And
Let's
I
maximize our
mean,
time. And I think we did.
we certainly, I mean, we had a great little social event Friday night at Dave and Buster's, and it was awesome to meet everyone. And then, I mean, 12-hour day on Saturday, 9-10 hour day on Sunday, with plenty of chatting and talking and socializing in between. So yeah, it was so awesome. And like for us too, like we've been doing this for a few years now. It was really cool to meet a lot of these people. So I didn't tell you this on Thursday. I want to ask you this question: what person like shocked you the most in appearance? Because I said on Thursday's calls, Lauren from Big Four was on, and
Yeah.
I was like, we were all shocked with how tall you are.
Yeah, she's not
So
short.
no, she's 5'9", she said. I was like, that's tall. I'm five
It's tall
three. I
for a
was like,
female. Yeah.
yeah. So did anyone shock you that you met in person?
Marlo's a giant.
Oh, Marlo's a big dude. No, Brendan too. Big. We had met
But I
Brendan
but I
before.
had
Yeah.
met Brendan before I knew Brendan was tall. Marlo is a giant man. He's a giant human being. It's
Ryan
weird. I
Pepe.
immediately meet people in the CrossFit world, and I think about like I start thinking about levers and covering distance for
Yeah.
certain things. I'm like, oh my god, it's got to be miserable to work out with being so tall.
And Ryan Pepe. he's a little. I mean, I knew he was a little shorter just from talking to him, but he was like more my size. I was like, all right, I like this. I like
Size
it.
him up.
I'm gonna just hang out with the people around my height. But it was awesome. It's
Uh,
just so awesome to, I think it's always cool to hear Ellie repeated this a lot from Coney Island. Just how all these affiliate owners work hard to create a community, and oftentimes you're a part of it, but you're kind of like the leader. You're like, I got to be the father figure or mother figure. Like, I can't go crazy. And then we've created something where now these affiliate owners can come in and just be a part of the community and not have to worry about the down to business type of stuff.
yeah, there's a the saying is leadership is lonely,
Mhm.
and that's worth kind of acknowledging too. You don't get to do certain things anymore when you take over the tribe. Like you don't get to let your hair down. There's certain things that are you don't really get to share maybe as frequently as you'd like. You don't get to be maybe as vulnerable as you'd like because there's certain times in leadership where that's not appropriate. And nobody really talks about that. They're like, oh, I get to be in charge. I'm like, man, I was like, it's a tough road, particularly if you don't have other people going through the same thing and people to hash things out with and a sounding board. And that was the real takeaway for everybody is just, and I think we did a good job of setting the tone because we wanted people to be vulnerable. We wanted people to talk about the stuff. And, I mean, I don't, I don't think anybody held back the whole weekend, which I was a little worried that there was going to be people that weren't going to like really let their shit out. And, that was not the case. And it was cool because I think there were some significant breakthroughs that weekend.
Huge. Huge.
Um,
What percentage of the participants cried?
140.
No, it was substantial. I
Some
mean,
some of them cried. Some of them cried many times. Yeah.
yeah, no, and not like in a negative, like you know, not in a negative way at all. It's just like positive and negative, like talking about their stories. I mean, when Joel and E-Man, our video guy, were doing some of the testimonials and recordings, like it was very positive. Like I remember, whether it was Choss Boss or Ryan, like just talking about how much they love their community, Anna Floyd, and it brings a tear to your eye because you do. I think sometimes you step away and you realize the impact you're having on other people, and seeing other people going through, like we said, similar challenges and tribulations. You're like, all right, it's worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it, and it was awesome to hear.
Well, I think one of the more powerful things, I mean, there was kind of some running common themes, which we'll talk about in there, but the way we formatted it was, I think, cool. We don't have to go into the details of that, but the way it was formatted was anybody who's ever been to any of the affiliate summits. So imagine they have like these little breakouts, um, but everybody gets 20 minutes on the hot seat. Which, if you've never been on the hot seat, 20 minutes feels like an eternity. And the format was nobody got to bullshit anybody. The group collectively was able to sift through everybody's stuff, their excuses, their stories, their like all the superfluous information to get down to like root cause of what is troubling this gym owner to create an action item or an action item list, to then go forward and like fix that. And like the running joke was Tuesday. Everything was happening on Tuesday the following week.
I
Uh,
loved the last
you would just hear people yell, Tuesday, it's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Uh, so it was just really fun, but it was also, I think it was really important for people to see like we all got our own shit, dude. And everybody's got excuses for everything. But the way it was formatted, it was kind of like it was built in a thoughtful kind of, I don't want to say safe space because it sounds weird, but like um where it was okay, where like somebody would present an issue and then come to find out that their question wasn't really the issue. And we would unpack that as a group and be like, oh, here's what you actually need to do. You think this is an issue, but it's actually not your issue at all. Now you need to go and fix that. And there was people that tried to dip and duck and dive and try to get out of you know, their to-dos. And there's something to be said by sitting in front of 20 other people and having to like answer for that, which is like, hey, it's actually you. You're the problem. You need to make a decision on that, and you refuse to because it's uncomfortable.
Well, and I think along with that, I've seen that carry over while we're back home. The people that were there certainly now realize, oh, sometimes the question I'm asking is not actually the question. And then when they hear other people talking on our calls, they're like, nope, that's not it. Like
Mm-mm.
we had a small group call, and I don't remember the exact scenario, but one of our owners was like, blah 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 blah, and my girlfriend's upset, and I'm like, oh, that's like, and it's like it's not your schedule, right?
Yeah,
It's your girlfriend's upset with your schedule.
yeah.
So like, we really were able to peel back a lot of layers of the onion, and I think would you agree that there's probably like a, most of the issues kind of stem around the same thing, and then some were outliers. Like we had some awesome ones, like Kapua, like I want to buy this major location in Hawaii, and
Right.
like but a lot of them kind of stem around the same things. Of what would you say? Like if we had to lump them into three categories, what would they be?
One would be prioritization. They struggle to prioritize their list, right? So again, we talk about this all the time. Like gym owners are just, I mean, gold medalist busy people. Like they're just, I mean, Matt Frazier's of being busy, which is not productive. So
Is
that,
Frazier the goat? Do you think Frazier's the goat or
I
Froning
mean, oh
or
man,
Tia?
I mean, I think there's multiple variations of that question. I do, because I think as the sport has grown,
Yeah, it's hard. It's like
obviously the individual champ, based on just numbers, is Tia's the goat. Like she has 6. Nobody's ever done that before. Like she's the goat, and she's just a terminator of a human being. And I mean, she could probably win right now. And she's basically working out with a baby strapped to her body the whole time. Um, but for a full body of work, I think Rich is the goat, meaning the number of team wins, the brand of mayhem that they've created, the number of athletes they have there, the stuff that they're doing. At this point, I think it's fair to say that like mayhem has outpaced Rich, which is a good thing. Meaning like that overall brand now lives by itself, which I think is cool.
yeah,
Like that's very hard. It's like it's not like Jordan's the goat, but the jump man is on everything.
yeah. I get what you.
Baseball,
Yeah,
football, shoes. People still buying those shoes, right? It's like, so it's kind of like that, I think. Um, but anyway, so prioritization was a big one, and then a lot of them was needing to do a deeper dive into the actual numbers of whatever the thing was. They're like, hey, what about and you ask them simple questions about like, what are your numbers, and like they don't know, and then it's really awkward to be on the hot seat and then like be asked some questions you don't have information for.
and I would throw the third one. So you've said prioritization, knowing your numbers, and then probably something along the lines of like either hiring new staff, getting your staff on the same team, on board together, or
Well, I want to go back to the knowing the numbers thing. That actually should probably be rephrased. It's doing the dirty work,
mm,
right? Like they
whether
all know,
numbers or not.
right? Meaning like they know they should know that, right? It's not like we're like, oh, you should know that, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't know I should know that, right? Like it's actually doing the dirty work and the not fun work, the not sexy work, the stuff that you and I would, all the stuff that's in the middle, all the stuff that's like the gray in the middle that actually allows you to be the goat, right? That everybody else skips, um, like knowing that shit cold. Um, and what I think was really cool is that the accountability that is garnered from having to sit in front of a group of people and acknowledge that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing is really important. And I think that's where a lot of affiliate owners live, which is like, hey, you need to go do that. Like you got all these other excuses, but the bottom line is you're not doing your work.
Let talk about that a little bit. This is like you and I have a few phrases that we share, and Marcus as well. But the middle is one that we bring up a lot, and I think we also bring it up with our clients, where you know everyone's excited when you first launch a business, be it an affiliate, be it a podcast, whatever that looks like. And everyone is looking forward to the end, which is success, be it financial,
Yeah, whatever that looks like for you.
fame, whatever you want there. But the middle is really where the magic happens.
It's where all the magic happens. It's the old like learn to love the process, or the man who loves to walk will walk further than the man who loves the destination. You know, and I think falling in love with the middle is important. You know, like I've talked about this at level 2s, which is like master the art of getting better, or like make mastering the art of getting better your calling as a gym owner, because then you're never done. Right. Then there's always something to chase. I can know that report a little bit better. I can communicate a little bit better. I can, I can do evals a little bit better. I can develop my staff a little bit better. I can know my P&L a little bit better. I can learn to understand and make projections a little bit better. Like none of that shit is sexy. The outcome is really awesome though when you get really good at all of them, because people are like, man, like you're crushing, and they're like, and we have quite a few gyms that are in fact crushing, and they're the ones that are doing the work, right? They're the ones that know that information and have it dialed and have created the process for it, and are what I think there's a beauty into. It's kind of like a relationship, I would think, right? Meaning like re-falling in love with your partner, or re-falling in love with the business, and like that. And I think that comes with less focus on the destination and more focus on mastery of the affiliate. But like, how do you do that, right? It seems so big and so scary and so mundane. Um, but it's where all the magic happens. Like I was on a call today with an onboarding with a client. I said, there is no magic pill here. Nothing. That's not how any of this works. Right. It's the aggregate of small wins. Right. That's the middle.
No, and I think as you're saying that, I mean, it's certainly you can make that relationship to relationships, right? Where yeah, everyone loves dating,
Right.
and then you're like 7 years into a marriage, and you're like, all right, what's next? And you're like, oh, the same person for the next 50 years, right? But and for me, yeah, like that was because now I think I'm at a point married to Roz that I've never been in a relationship longer than this now. So I think this is like my longest relationship ever. Yeah, and there's like and I think there's a reason they call it like the 7 year itch, right? And I'm not talking like sexually, like wanting to like that. I'm just saying like there comes a point where it's just like okay, it's like it can be monotonous or day to day, and you have to sit there and continue to work like that. It's work, right? And but that's what's awesome about it, because if you do work and you do just chip away and continue to try to grow, you will be successful in anything you do.
Agreed. And I think a lot of what came out of the mastermind is there's a lot of people that like, because we live in our own bubble, right? Inside of the affiliate, they're like, well, I mean, what else am I going to do? And then you go to the mastermind and unlock this door, and you look out into the world, and you're like, oh, there's so many other things that I could be doing. There's so many other things that I could be better at. There's so many other people that are doing cool stuff. And then all of a sudden your imagination runs wild, we were talking about the what Marcus and I kind of shared when we were at our mastermind, which is like, that idea that your mind cannot outgrow the size of the idea that you put it in. And that's such an unlock when you think about it, because like a lot of affiliate owners, there's this small idea that their brain is trapped in. And then you show up to this event and we just shatter that little box, and you get to run free in this whole world. I'm like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you could do anything you want. We want to make sure it's not a stupid thing, but that idea that you had is so small compared to what is actually possible. And then creating that roadmap for something that's tangible. It's not just be like, I want to take over the world or whatever. It's not that, but it's just like understanding that the idea that I'm holding on to is the limiting factor. And if I'm okay with just letting go of that idea and crafting a bigger one or a better one, changes how you approach everything. And that was part of what we walked everybody through. And then people go back and they're like, oh, dude, like just drastic changes and the way they were operating. Not necessarily. And I think there's a difference between mentally how you show up versus like the plan, right? Like for most people, the plan didn't change, but mentally how they show up to execute the plan changes everything.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about what you're saying is I do think affiliate owners in general are like notorious for like, cool, like if I can just pay my bills, I'd be happy. And it's like, that's fine.
Such a shit idea, though.
Right. Or why don't we try to like do well? But the cool thing about the mastermind was how many of our affiliates were there in person. Like, I mean, Louis was there, right? Cal Harbor.
The goal was, hey, let's learn. And here I am, like, oh shit, like I just inspired the hell out of my general manager to just, this is where you belong. This is, trust me, like I'm gonna grab your hand and we're gonna do this together. So it's been great. Like and then it's things I was not expecting and I'm experiencing now, and it's been so dope. It's been so dope.
Who's just living his best life, right? Like the box is doing great. His GM Allison was there with him. Like his family's happy. He's going on vacations, and it's like it was so cool for other affiliate owners to be like, this isn't like some make believe thing. Like that dude right there is doing it. I mean, and we can name 10 others. Odin, right? Allison and Jason were there. Like another box that's just doing like Ellie, who's
Brian and Gabby, Ellie,
yes,
like
so
all like
many
we can go
box.
on and on.
Yeah.
But and that was part of what we did too, is we kind of like unveiled the kind of the levels within Affiliate U that we've created.
I don't know if you wanted. This was me not. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that. See,
I mean, we can like this is I
talk
talked about
about
this
it. This is your Mona Lisa, Fern.
and that's what we've been building. And right now we're currently on what we're calling 3.0, which is the third iteration of what we're doing. And we're getting ready to run you guys. Start running everybody through that. And it'll be quantitative, it'll be very objective. But the idea here is that the chase is for that. Okay? The chase is for that. And we'll talk about what that means, but the point is like long gone are the days of just aimlessly trying to grow your business.
I want you to talk about
I talked about this at the Mastermind, and one of the components that has made CrossFit what it is they're like the inherent nature of competition created rabbits. Good, bad, or indifferent, however you feel about it, is just like human beings are like horses. If you line up two horses next to each other and one of them starts to run a little faster, the one next to it starts to run faster too. Even if they don't even know where they're going, they'll just run faster. And that competition in the fitness world propelled CrossFit into a whole new stratosphere of like how people viewed human performance. And the issue that we've never had inside of, or the issue that, or the thing that we've never had inside of the affiliates is there's never been any rabbits, right? There's nobody to chase, right? There's nobody like, oh, that person's crushing, let me do what they're doing. And that's kind of what we've been making in the background, but we were finally able to quantify, be like, hey, here's what a level 1 gym looks like. Here's what a level 2, a level 3, a level 4 gym looks like, to create rabbits and say like, if somebody was really crushing it objectively, meaning like we're going to show this person to the world, nobody's going to argue with us that this is what we would all love to have. And creating those rabbits, again, breaking some of those small ideas of like, oh, I can't do any more than this in revenue. I can't have full-time. I can't do this. I can't do that. All these kind of like, conflict language, scarcity mindset type things, they're broken when you put people in a room together and this idea that they have is shattered literally by this person sitting next to them. And I'm like, hey, he's doing it. She's doing it. You can do that too. You just have to think differently, and behave differently. And that was part of what Joel kind of took everybody through. But all of that is really, and that's, you can't do that virtually. I fundamentally don't believe you could do that virtually. I think that needs to be done in person.
Let's give a shout out to Joel, huh? He blew some minds there.
Bro.
What a team we got, huh?
Joel Cochran.
25 miles an hour. That's about the average speed of a horse. A horse galloping and going quick. A horse I was on.
That dude is a savage. And people don't know Joel's background. Joel is grew some really, he managed multiple gyms at the same time in the Reno area and grew them to be very successful. And
yeah.
Joel, people know Joel because he's like a, what do you say? A linguistics.
The irony that you're trying to use linguistics and don't know the word is great.
Well, No, I'm trying to remember what his verbiage was when he said at the mastermind. He was just, I forget what his exact
Well,
term
he
was.
sounds good. He sounds like a late night R and
Disc
B
jockey. Yeah.
disc jockey, right? And man, when it came to I mean, watching him bring Mitch from the loop up, and private moment that was shared obviously amongst 100 people, but was their private moment. But watching that unfold was awesome. Like, talk about tears. Like, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house.
That's part of it, right? Like walking people through that because I think everybody sees themselves in that scenario. They're like, oh, that's me, just slightly different story. You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of all of that together. And we're going to do that we're going to do that every 6 months because it's basically like get people in a room, hammer out some ideas, call people out on their bullshit, get a new strategy moving forward. And then we're going to check in 6 months and we're going to be like, yes, we have new problems to solve now. Now what do you have for us?
Well, you and Marcus have gone to multiple masterminds recently that, we're part of 2X, and Marcus is a huge fan. You guys went to Austin recently. We've also, you and I have attended other masterminds. I've been to Tony Robbins, and sometimes people kind of think like, oh, it's like woo woo type stuff. Like, no, you leave fired up. Like, I love when Marcus goes to a mastermind because, like, I remember he had gone to a 2X maybe like a year or two ago, and I caught him on the drive home, and I was like, this dude won't stop talking. I was like, and it's just, you're that fired up. Like, and like I said, I mean, our mastermind was 2 weeks ago, and still on today's call, we're hearing about it. But that's the point. We want you to be so excited, let that momentum run, and just around the time you feel like you're slowing down again, cool, here's the next one. We've got 2 locations in mind. Can we talk about those?
Probably not.
Just to throw them out there, just to, like, nothing in stone.
Okay.
I'll go throw out 2 states. All right.
You're going to throw them out of the U.S.? You're going to just get rid of them? Can we start with California?
I'm going to name 2 states where the mastermind may potentially be: Florida or Tennessee.
You're wrong. We'll start.
Is that
there.
wrong?
Yes.
I thought
Texas. It was Texas and Tennessee.
Oh, we're thinking Texas? I thought we were potentially going around Wadapalooza.
No, we kind of decided that would be too much.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't.
Yeah.
And there's a new Wadapalooza. I didn't know that, in California, right?
Yeah, next year in SoCal. Yeah.
By the way, this should be out before the games. This episode.
That's not my job. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's not my job either. Cody, I wish you were on here at this point.
Yeah.
But if this is out before the games and you're listening, we got so much going on at the games. We've got our own booth. Like, you have to come by and see us. So
yeah, we're going to be doing podcasts when we're there. We're doing activation with Watify. We're doing talks in the lounge. We're going to be running classes in the affiliate. If you want to find us, go to Jocko's setup and then just look directly across the walkway, and we'll be standing right there.
Is that how we're telling people to find us?
I'm just humble brag. We're on the same aisle as Jocko. Just saying.
Rumor is Jocko and I have a beef going on, and I don't want to.
Rumor is I'm gonna pay massive amounts of money to watch him choke you out. Yeah.
And also check out our social media. Cody and Christian are doing a great job with that, and everything will be on there. But are we talking about the big thing, or do we not talk about that yet?
I'm not even sure what the big. Let's not. I don't want to get in trouble. But launching something really cool at the games. You guys are gonna want coaches out there, coaches and affiliate owners. You're gonna want to be in on this. I assure you. This is. I think this is one of the coolest things to ever kind of hit the space, and this has been a long time coming. Oddly enough, like Pat Barber and I were both kind of like creating these parallel things over a decade, and we came together and was just like, hey, I have a thing, and he's like, I've also been making a thing, and I'm like, we should just make this thing our baby and put it out to the world.
Pat is really great at that stuff, man. Like, I see some of his social media posts and just watching him talk, I'm like, this dude is a really good public speaker. He knows his stuff.
I will put it to you this way. You got most people listening to this. How often do you get feedback on the level 1, the level 2 series?
How often do I hear about it?
Yeah,
Weekly, we get something, right?
right.
Yeah.
People are big fans of that content. A lot of people are like, "Thank you, it helped me pass to my level 2 or my level 1 or with level 3 even." Um, and so what we're launching at the games is like that times 1,000.
It's the first thing ever in the CrossFit space. And the cool thing is, if you're listening to this and you're not an affiliate owner, you're often like, how do I either get my affiliate owner to sign up or like, what can I do? Now we've got something where you don't have to be an affiliate owner. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
even have to be a coach technically, but it's, geared towards people that
coaching.
coaching and also just want to move better
Right.
in their own practice. So yeah, super excited. More information will be coming out. There'll be some cool specials offered as we kick this thing off. And I won't even get too deep in, but we've got a really big, call him influencer on social media,
Partnership. Yeah.
partnership with one of the best in the world when it comes to helping coaches with cues. And I'm excited for that because I love that dude and I'm excited to see what we do together.
But yeah,
All
come
right.
see us. It's gonna be a pretty. If you don't sign up when we launch it, you're a dummy,
A dummy. Just a straight up
dumb,
dummy.
dumb, dummy.
So
So we're gonna be
let
giving away all sorts of stuff. Like the offer is kind of
bonkers.
it's
That's a
stupid.
firm
It's a
word.
stupid offer. When we made it, they're like, "Are you sure?" And we're like, "We're gonna make it really dumb."
How was Chris Stapleton?
Fantastic.
Was it good?
That guy can rip a guitar, and it's just so he's a virtuoso. And
Yeah, I
I
could see.
like and watching somebody do their thing, uh I always really enjoy it. I love watching somebody who's mastered a thing just do their thing.
Could you
And
watch anything in that? Like, what actually gets
yes,
me excited with virtuoso is cooking.
cooking, um dude, anything. Like I could watch if they're like truly masterful at their thing. I could watch somebody do that all day. It doesn't even matter what it is. I caught myself watching something the other day, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm watching this, but this person is so good at it. Um, oh my god, what was it? They were making something. I can't remember what it was, but it was wild. I was just like, how do you even get that good at that?
That's what's surprising. It's like, how did you get good at that? Okay, so we talked a little bit about numbers, or like you said, just knowing your business. Prioritization. What were some of the big takeaways there?
Too many trying to do too many things at once, right? So again, bring this back to coaching. If like having the ability to selectively ignore things as an affiliate owner, just like you would as a coach. I've got, their knees caving in, they're up on their toes, their stance is all jacked up, their back is rounding. It's just like I could try to fix all at once, or I could just
Triage.
move their feet, and I could get some traction. And getting people to slow down a little bit, and then ultimately like guard their time and prioritize their work so that they can actually move the needle in the affiliate and get them to understand there will never be a time when there's not stuff being thrown at you in the affiliate. That time does not exist. Do not wait for it. Do not expect it. You could be running the world's best affiliate, and there will still be fires that will roll into your office every single day. The drunk monkeys will just come piling in. And having the wherewithal to be like, nope, I don't need to deal with that right now. Like, yes, that is a thing that needs to be dealt with, but not right now because my priority list is based on where we're going, and I will deal with that in due time. And I think prioritizing that and making the main thing is really important. And, newsflash, the main thing is not the same for every affiliate owner. Every affiliate owner is like struggling with all of the same things, but one of them is more important than the other based on what's going on inside the walls of the affiliate, which is the why we do the coaching the way that we do it. Like no two people are going to go through the course the same way. Like they come in, like I was on a call today. I'm like, you're not doing this the way anybody does this. I'm like, you're going to do this the way you need to do it based on the conversation that we just had and all of the information that I just collected from you.
Yeah, I think one of the big takeaways there as well was a lot of affiliate owners like to be busy, not productive.
And we could say that and just like be busy, not productive. But like really what we were helping people with there is like, there's a mental breakthrough that has happened there with regard to just the having the wherewithal and the confidence to say no. That's the first part. And then we help them with that. And then the second thing we help them with is like, I'm going to give you your priority list. Here you go. Don't work on anything else. Like, do this. Why? Because we created all of this based on the massive amount of context and information that you just gave us. And you're going to try to find excuses why you should deviate from the plan. And then I'm going to tell you to stop doing that.
It would be like, as a coach or affiliate or somebody's coming to you and like, I want to lose weight. And you're like, all right, let's just focus on, eating enough protein for the next 21 days. And they're like, cool, I'm going to do that. And then this, and then this. And you're like, no, nope. Just do this because I know what happens if you try to do all of that at once. So I think that was a big takeaway. Yeah. Like giving them what to focus on, holding them accountable. And I don't remember if it was Joel or maybe Mark England said this to us where it was like, no is I think it was Joel, right? No is a complete sentence.
Joel, yeah. No and yes are both complete sentences. And I was just like, well said.
Yeah. No, that Joel had everyone that presented.
Here's the last thing. Here's the last thing that I think was a takeaway is many people feel uncomfortable dealing with their people problems. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what we walk through is there's a piece of that puzzle that just needs to be removed and you will be significantly happier. Just get rid of that piece of the puzzle.
I would say at least I was 5 to 10 of the clients were like you said, either remove that person, a serious conversation needs to happen, like putting them in a different role. But so often it was just that simple.
Well, I think it's just you get bogged down because you're underneath the full load of the business. And I think it's people struggle to see how much of an outsized impact a single bad apple can have inside the organization. And as we start to peel that back, we're just like, oh, all of your problems stem from this single person. Your programming problems, your retention problems, your staff problems, all stem from this single person. And in a lot of instances, affiliate owners have been convinced by this person or other members that this person cannot be gotten rid of because they're too important and too vital to the affiliate. And that is never true, ever.
Everyone's going to leave if I do this, right? It's like,
they're not.
You think half of your members are following someone you don't like? Like
there was one that we finally got across the line, and this one was a big one because this coach had convinced that nobody would ever be able to do what he does, and all this other. And like I finally talked to the gym owner. I said, "Listen, I'm like, this is the genesis of all of your stress, all of it. 100% of the things that you and I talk about are a direct result of this person still being in the machine." And then when they finally sat down and talked to this person, like, and kind of like reclaimed control, all of that turned out to be completely false. Like the coach was a mess. There, like nobody's going to be leaving the gym. Everybody was basically in agreement about it. But it's hard to work through that until you can kind of sit down. I don't want to say they're all, some of these hot seats were kind of like, interventions with regard to like, hey, you just need to do that. And it's different if you and I tell them, they're like, okay. But like when 20 people are all like, what are you doing?
That was my favorite part, to be able to, especially like towards the end of the first day and then certainly on Sunday, when you knew what was going on and then you saw the other participants see it before like the person in the hot seat. It was like, it was exciting. It was like when you're coaching someone and they're like, their knees go in, they're like, oh, I get it now.
Or they would finally, or they would like, they'd be on the hot seat for 10, 15 minutes and they would finally let out a piece of information and the whole group would come to a stop and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, forget everything we've been talking about. I'm like, that right there is the source of your problem. You need to deal with that.
Exactly. All right. Before we wrap up, Fern, I'm going to put you on the spot. All right. So we were talking about Joel's presentation. I mean, mine was outstanding, of course.
Garbage.
And then Marcus. But I really loved the way you kicked off the weekend, and you kind of related it to your recent, I was going to say excursion. I don't know if it was an excursion, but your venture at with
Right.
Tosh and the Big Fish Foundation. And we're going to do a whole episode in the next week about your experience there. But I do think that was a really good takeaway. Not just, I think that was awesome for the affiliates to hear, but on a personal level. And I actually used it with Roz recently with the kids. She was like, asking for help. Like, I don't want to ask you for help. I'm like, so, I don't want to steal your thunder. You take it away.
Well, I don't want this to be attributed to me because it's not mine. So I want to give credit where credit is due. So when I did the Big Fish fundraiser, this is a big part of what Tosh preaches. And it's kind of how we kicked off the weekend, which was the whole point of everybody being there. And, what he said was part of being here and going through this whole ordeal is to learn to ask for help, but understanding that when you ask for help or when you don't ask for help, how all of that factors in, right? So ask for help is what I kind of promoted or kind of what I encourage everybody to do, because there's somebody that wants to help you. And when I deny that person the opportunity to help me, I've denied them a gift because they want to help me. So that was part of, because I had 3 things that I kind of charged the group with. And the first one was ask for help. And don't deny somebody that opportunity to help you. And in some of the hot seats, I said, hey, who here, if one of the other affiliate owners in this room called you and asked for help, would drop everything they were doing and help them? Every hand shot up. And I'm like, right. I want everybody to look around in this room and I want you to ask for help. If somebody does something better than you, ask them to help you. If somebody's got information that you want to learn about, ask them to help you. Like, they will help you. Like, none of us are going to do this by ourselves. So, and that's why we exist. Like, we want to help you. So gym owners, like, if you need help, just reach out. Like, we want to help you. And I would argue, like, we love what we do, right? Or somebody else wants to help you. Don't deny them the gift of helping you, because it's probably what they want to do. And it's an ego thing when we don't ask for help. And as long as we just get past that, it'd be like, hey, it's both good for me and good for them, because they want to, they will get a reward out of helping me, and I will also benefit from that transaction. It's really cool. And so that's kind of what I led with for the weekend, was just like, hey, ask for help. Like, it's okay to ask for help. Like, you're going to need it anyway. You might as well just be okay with asking for it. And you'd be shocked what you'll get if you just ask for help.
I love it. And as soon as we got back, so many of our clients that were there and heard you talk about that were like, yeah, I asked a member if they wanted a coach, or I asked one of my coaches to take on more admin work, or I asked something like, and it was like, like you said in there, and like you just said, like, it's somewhat selfish too. Like, yeah, you ask me for help all the time, if I'm being honest, and I do it because I feel good, right? Not just to help you, which, the team knows I carry you most of the time.
Of course, yeah.
No, but it feels good, right? It feels good to, like,
I asked you for help today.
Yeah, you did. And, and it feels good to, I know when you ask me for help, you're not like,
I need it.
Yeah, you need it. It's not like you're like, I don't want to ask Jay for help. It's just like, I know you're not the type of person that's asking me if you don't actually need it. So knowing, like, oh, this probably removed a bunch of stress from your week. Like, of course, right? And I think that, it goes a long way. We, like, as affiliate owners, as coaches, human beings, don't be afraid to do that. So big picture, affiliate you clients, if you're listening, you're going to want to make sure twice a year you get it on the books. As soon as we give you the information, book your tickets, make sure you're signed up, because also this time, because it was our first, we were pretty loose about that. Like, just basically show up. But, we're capping it because we have so many little things that go into making sure we've got something for everyone.
Yeah. And this is part of affiliate use, right? So there's an extra charge for this, right? Just show up. just
Yeah,
get
that
yourself
being
there
said,
and we'll take care of the rest. We'll take care of the food. We got the venue, all that kind of stuff. So this is not like a money grab for us. This is 100% value add inside of the program. And because we think affiliate owners deserve it. And that's the way that we want to do it. So, yeah, if you're on the fence, ask for help. We're happy to help you, but it doesn't have to be us. Just get in a room, ask for help, get with other people. Because that in person, that the accountability that's born from that is like, it's powerful. There are a lot of shit's been getting done since the mastermind. I'll tell you that.
absolutely. And I want to give a quick shout out: Podium, Doc Spartan, RX Smart Gear, O2 Battle Bars, hooked up our clients with some great stuff. So shout out to them. If anyone was there or not there and interested in learning more about those companies, definitely hit us up. You can shoot Cody a message on our Best Hour social media. So great companies. Thanks for hooking us up there. And yeah, if you're listening to this before the CrossFit Games, look for Jocko, turn around, and you'll see us. Is that
We'll be
accurate?
there staring at you awkwardly.
Yeah, we'll be waiting.
Also, on that same note, promotion again. If you sign up for Affiliate U within the next, I don't know, month and a half, maybe not even a month and a half. Yeah, roughly a month and a half.
End of the games.
Yeah, before. I think it goes through August, but either way, it might be the end of the games. Either way, we will pay for your next credential, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, because we truly believe in the training pipeline. We want you to do that, and we want you to better yourself. Or you can give it to somebody else. If you got a coach who needs it and you want to do that, we're happy to sponsor their education as well. So that's part of Affiliate U. The Mastermind's part of Affiliate U. Being awesome is part of Affiliate U. So if you
Let's
want to
give
be
one
awesome,
more shout out. We got shout outs.
Sure.
We're giving more.
Yeah,
How about a shout out to Brentney passing her level 4?
level 4? Love it.
CrossFit
Level
Mafia,
4.
Brentney Kincaid, mutual friend of Fern and I. She's part of seminar staff, also an Affiliate U client. And I know how important that was for her. So awesome job, Brentney. Really cool to, have you in the club, if I'm going to put it out there.
You're not even in the club. It's good. It's
I'm the
just
founder.
happy that she's in the club. Yeah.
I am the founder of that club. All right. Well, I can't wait. I socialize 2-3 times a year, and I can't wait for the next mastermind. I got this mastermind the game, so I'm good for 2023. But come 2024, I'm going to want to socialize again.
Ramp it up.
I'm going to kick my agoraphobia, and I'm going to get out the house. So awesome. Hey, Fern, we did it.
What do we do?
We didn't need it. We can get rid of the team.
Perfect.
We'll bring it back to the basics. Get rid of Marcus. Get rid of Pat Barber, Cody. What a
Cody,
team!
you're out.
Sledgehammers.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't need them though.
Yeah. Cody convinced us that we needed him to record a podcast.
Yeah, turns out we don't need him.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we had to fire someone that they weren't there.
Yeah.
The only person I feel like we actually can't fire is Katie.
We for sure cannot fire boss Katie.
Katie, you're still hired. Everyone else, you're fired. And show up at the next mastermind. We'll see you then.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.